Hello again, and I'm with another Chicken Soup for the Soul book review. Um, this one I had to do a video on just it because I have a little story in it, so it's going to take me longer. Um, and it is Chicken Soup for the Soul 20th Anniversary Reader's Choice: The Stories That Changed Your Lives. I'm on page 40, under Epiphanies, and mine is called The Living Room. And basically what this book was you chose a story that really um, changed you or changed the way you thought about things. And when I had my son, I was a neat freak. Really bad. I'm talking, I was the queen of bleach, Lysol, disinfectant, and any other kind of sanitizer that you can think of. People, before they held my baby, they had to sanitize their hands. Well, they had to wash them and then sanitize them before they could hold my son. Because he was born in the fall and I was afraid that he would get sick. Um, and my house constantly smelled like Lysol and Febreze and other household cleaners. Um, and I was reading Chicken Soup for the Mother's Soul. And what happened was there was this one, and it was talking about how she stopped everything she did just to play with her son. And I was like, yeah, sometimes this was about when my son was like 6 months old. He was just starting to crawl. And sometimes when he would be like crawling around and I would be like dusting or something, and he would pick something up, or he would be playing with a toy, and I would just kind of be like, oh, that's a nice bear, and I'd go on about dusting or something, because I was so freaked out that my house would be a mess and somebody would stop by. So after I read that, I was like, okay, I am just like that. I put cleaning before my son, and it's not good. I need to play more. So the next day, instead of disinfecting my house all day, cleaned I cleaned of the nights. I started cleaning at night while my son was asleep, but when he was awake, we'd bake brownies or play with teddy bears or trucks or whatever we could do. But the story changed my life. So I wrote my story based on this one's story. Well, actually, it was a poem. It was a poem. And it got accepted and got in the book. And I really love this book because it's so amazing having my little itty bitty mommy story in here when there are so many of these stories that are just like, wow. I mean, some of these are just, they really stick with me. Let me see if I can remember one. I think my favorite one, other than my own, was I Am Me and I Am Okay, and Lunch with David and Lunch with Grandma. I like those two. Fearing the Scar. Oh my gosh, and Because He Loved Me. Those were my two absolute favorites. Fearing the Scar and Because He Loved Me. I love those two stories in that book. This is like a mishmash of all the books that they've done in the last 20 years. Because the readers picked out their favorites and then wrote a story to go along with it. So it's got a bunch of different things in it. So if you've never read a Chicken Soup book before, I would buy one of these because it gives you kind of like a taste of everything. You get the mommy part, you get, I think, there's one about soldier who lost his limbs. There was a Vietnam vet who discovered that one of the soldiers he rescued went on to win the Super Bowl 4 times. You'll read about a birth mother who found her 23-year-old through one of the stories. And I mean, it's got so much in it from different books. Oh, and in my previous videos, I was talking about the prisoner chicken soup for the prisoner soul. I also bought that book because when mine came out, there was 2 stories in it, and it was called The Tipping Point and Success Who Can Judge. Success Who Can Judge was in there, was in Prisoner's Soul, and then the one that was in here. But anyway, like the prisoner, I think he drew that. Let me get it up there. He drew that. So you need to check it out. It's got a little something in there for everybody. So check it out. Comment, subscribe. When we get to 100 subscribers, I'm going to do a book giveaway at some point. So subscribe.